We're at 10:01. Let's start the recording and do our shout-outs.
Shout out to Sellswords who beat the boss.
Yeah! And Honty for cursing at the boss. Best stream ever.
Aww. I want to give a shout out to Asa Crusader, who led us through this entire tier, and also to the team who made it through that progression in, all things considered, remarkably good humor. And I want to thank everyone from Guild who came and cheered us on, and Sari for making me a special week aura, and Leah for always coming and saying hi, and Inri and anyone else I'm forgetting. So, and one more, just the folks who sat the kill when we killed it, even though they helped with progression. That's always a hard position to be in. So a special shout out to Deldrimore and Bad for helping us get there and patiently waiting for their kill, which will come.
I have a shout out to someone who I don't think gets one very often. I have a shout out to Zate. You can drive me bananas, but you were a rock star this week, and I know that myself and a ton of other people really appreciate all of your efforts.
Totally agree this week.
I got a shout out. I'll do this very often, but I got a shout out to the upper leadership and echelon to helping make the transition for iTeam smooth as possible.
I only just made it into this channel, but I believe we're talking about the same things here.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you everybody so much. The members of iTeam and the leadership that helped us transition smoothly. We made progress on Kingaroth tonight, and we had 23 people, and it was great.
Good. All right, so I have a shout out for Ariak. He's there's a few people that harass me when I log in, and most of the time I shoot them down because I'm in a meeting or something. But and then I'll be free, and then every time I'm free, if there's anyone around, Ariak's always wanted to take me through a Mythic Plus. So I got a sweet trinket on my hunter, thanks to him and his efforts in carrying me, which is a pretty hard task in of itself. So I wanted to shout out Ariak for just being the person that. No, I don't play the game with many people. I mostly just sit in meetings. So thanks to him for doing that.
How many times did you die?
I don't know. If I died, though, Ariak was the tank. I'm sure it was his fault. So I'll just blame him for all my deaths.
No. It was Snowmantle's fault.
Oh, right. I have another shout out for Kaylee. I have moving a mountain. I actually wrote this down. Moving a mountain one grain of sand at a time from all the tells and everything else she does. It's like just a lot of behind the scenes work, and we all feel the impact of it, but it's those small day-to-day things that get done that are really helpful. Other shout outs?
This is Q. I have a shout out. I returned to the game a couple months ago, and I rolled my tank. And while I didn't have a team, I was able to run with Snowmantle and tank with her a lot on her open runs and stuff. And it's been really enjoyable tanking with her, and she runs her runs well. So that's my shout out. Thanks, Snow.
You did it. That really is your fault.
Yeah, remember that.
I'll give a shout out to iTeam too, because when you're facing unknown and you have to, sometimes things are a little bit awkward and trying to work through things. Just a lot of professionalism and cordiality, is that a word? Civility was displayed by the IT members. And I'll guarantee you that from my end, I didn't handle things perfectly. I did the best I could, and they were very understanding and patient and really did a good job of working through a transition. So thanks to the team. Any other shout outs?
I'd like to give a shout out to all the mercenaries that have been helping B Team past couple weeks. Really appreciate it.
I would like to give a shout out. This is Aranth, the ambassador for Dreadnought. I'd like to give a shout out to the officers who have stepped up to help Rubina and I in leading Dreadnought since the change of leadership. Turto, Dr. Slappy Pants, and Kreiner have been absolutely fantastic.
Awesome. Other shout out.
I'd like to give another shout out quickly. This is Virtue of Imperium team. And my shout out is just for my officers who stepped up very instantly. Mist and Snow. Obviously, everybody knows that it's either Snow's fault or she does wonderful things for the guild. And she's doing it now for I-Team again. And Mist has been right by my side through the whole process, and I appreciate both of them greatly. They stepped up huge.
Great. All right, last chance for shout outs before we start talking about promotions. Okie doke. Well, I will talk about the first one. Virtue is now team lead of I-Team. I'm not going to get into all the details, but there was at one point 4 different people that were going to potentially lead the team. And as we do when we need to, we got involved a little bit and tried to help everything go smoothly. And 4 people went down to 1, and Virtue is the last one standing. So I want to thank him for taking the lead and being willing to run a team for us. So congrats on your promotion.
Woot!
Thank you.
We're going to talk about a new team here in a minute, but Treejuvenate, he's been a Templar for now 2 weeks. He's been doing a great job recruiting, talking to people. Are you in here, Tree?
I am here.
I am promoting you to Ambassador, so now you are actually able to promote people to Templar within your own group and subdivision. And we'll talk a little bit more later in the meeting, but so congrats on your promotion to team lead trial position. Ambassador is not the team lead trial position, but it's anyway, people that need to know what the rank means, they understand. But so he's a new face here, and feel free to get to know him.
Thank you.
Other promotions.
I have 2 promotions. One happened last month, and it was Snowmantle. She passed her trial as the RE for mergers and partnerships. So congrats, Snow. Sorry I wasn't here last month to say it for everybody. And then my other promotion is Wirio is currently trialing for a new position that we've never had before, which is an RE for Endless Kingdom. And I expect that she will do very well.
Yes. And a shout out for I want to give a shout out to Henry, because she's really been doing great to promote and structure things in her area, and we're seeing a lot of options and just people doing a lot of great things. You always want to find people that are passionate about whatever they want to do, and then removing the barriers, and Henry's been doing a great job at that, so shout out to her.
I had one other promotion too. Speaking for Jess, Anna has stepped down from the banking team. She was one of the people that was there from the beginning, and she was the ambassador originally. And then Trinium, the woman who makes all of the wonderful flyers and everything, really, I've been told that she does the majority of the grunt work for the banking team, and she's done an excellent job. So she is being promoted to ambassador in Anna's place. So congratulations. I personally really enjoy everything that you've put out.
Yay.
Well, shout out to the banking team too. We are working in, so this is like a guild update thing, but we are working to get some like guild repairs turned on eventually, and turning our Patreon funds into some cool options in games. So they're working really hard. We're not necessarily seeing a lot of it, but they're talking about it, and we're going to see stuff rolled out, I'm sure, soon.
Yeah, there's going to be some exciting stuff for banking happening over the next couple weeks, which I'll get to later.
Any other promotions? And any team lead that promoted a Templar for Hill Lead or whatever, feel free to,
Yes. I promoted Mings to ambassador, and we're going to be working together. As soon as I actually get a guild merger, I'm going to work with him to show him the ropes on that. So, and Mings and I have worked together for a while now. So.
I have one of those too. I'm promoting Jenith on K-Team to heal coach because she refuses to take heal lead title, but she's been helping out a lot with that.
I think technically I have one more. I mentioned that I have officers, but Snowmantle is also going to be the ambassador to I-Team, and I just want to make sure that she's recognized for that.
What?
She's a busy woman.
It's exciting. Lots of things getting done around here.
It keeps me out of trouble.
All right. Any other promotions before we jump into the updates? I'll take that as a no. All right. So first thing. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, in our the website that no one goes to because everything is in Discord, but we do have an agenda that gets posted usually the Tuesday, like it's usually like 4 or 5 days out, it gets posted, the agenda. And we have meetings that rotate between Friday and Sunday. And that's because we don't have any time that really works that isn't going to preclude a team from coming every single time. So we rotate. So next meeting will be 7 o'clock Sunday night. But we do have an agenda. It's pretty short. You can look at it. So reports, I'm up first with State of the Guild. So there's just a lot of transition happening kind of in upper leadership and shifting going on. Basically, I'm continuing to look at doing less, and that's going really well thanks to Sin and Henry and other leadership that's stepping up. The way I'm explaining it is I used to really go in and fine detail things with a scalpel. And, you know, for example, if there's a team lead transition happening or whatever else, I know about it months in advance. I talk to people, I kind of have things all set up, and I was really like guiding and active with most every team. That is not the case anymore. I don't use the scalpel, I use the sledgehammer. And when you use the sledgehammer, there are some people that get pretty upset and don't like it as much. And so a little bit of that has happened, you know, just because I don't have the time, but I am continually working at finding good leaders, and we've got some things in the work. But in terms of things being stable and healthy, we really do have that. We are continuing to add teams here and there. I anticipate, so if you don't know, the expansion has been announced for August 14th, which was at the very kind of the early end of when I thought it'd be announced, but gives us a lot of time to still, you know, get content clears and whatnot. So with that coming, we are looking at seeing a lot of people that will come back to the game. Historically, we've gained by about 30% in terms of roster numbers, like for the guild, active people logging in. So to give you an idea, right now we have about, give or take, 1,000 people that actively play. 30% is 300 plus people that will be added to the community if the pattern holds. So be prepared for that. People looking to raid, everything, but it's going to start, my guess is it'll start happening in June and July. People will start coming back, you know, people that want to come back and see the content before it's gone. So there's a number of teams I think struggling right now with roster. Hold on for another month or two, and I think we'll really get a solid wave of recruits coming in. We also have 40 open apps right now. So we are starting teams, we're developing, we're growing. I've announced this openly, and I have always kind of, well, not always, but I've stated this for a while. Basically, we're not going to go more than, like, we're not going to start another guild for raiding, right? So each team gets 40 tags. And so by mathematical calculations, we're not going to be able to get much more over 20 teams. Right now we're at 15. We're looking at maybe 16. And it kind of depends on how you want to, what you want to count team. But in terms of tags for the guild right now, I think we've got either 15 or 16. So we're not going to be able to add teams forever. But we will continue to add teams when we feel like it's in our advantage to do it. And I'm going to flesh that out a little bit more in terms of there's stuff that I don't want to quite talk about yet in terms of how those teams will be structured. And there'll be certain teams that we wouldn't add and certain teams we would add because there's a certain hole that we need filled, if that makes sense. So we are adding teams, but in terms of people we've got coming in and what I anticipate will be people coming in, we're in a pretty solid spot. The last thing that I want to talk about is just a little bit of history for the professionalism pillar, and then how it's kind of morphed to what it is today and how it still has an impact. And I said something yesterday in guild chat on the Discord server, the general area. But basically, when I started this community, I'm a teacher at a college, and my desire was to teach WoW at a college level because the teamwork involved, the collaboration involved, it really hits on a lot of 21st century skills that are very hard to obtain, very hard to teach, and you get them by just naturally playing the game. So I wrote a thesis on this, right? I mean, it's a book, right? So I knew that I could not use this. I wanted to be able to demonstrate through this community that it was a concept, right? And I could get my professor buddies to come look at this community. And because of that, and because I want to filter out toxic players, right? I was very much pushing that professionalism pillar because I knew it would matter, right? I don't want people, other college professors that are looking and verifying that this program is working, to see a community that I'm running and it be dripping with toxic, bigoted, racist, homophobic, anything like that. I had to completely distance myself, right? Otherwise it could basically sink the whole boat kind of thing. So I have always pushed professionalism pillar a little bit harder than I would maybe otherwise because of that. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. You can think for yourself, but it's always been something that when someone was having a problem with, I'd sit down with them one-on-one and be like, look, it's not just because of this. It's like, it's a personal thing for me. The reason I invest my time and I do this is because I'm looking to put this into a college class. That has changed now. I'm not looking to go into a college class. I'm running for office. I announced this last time, right? But basically anything tied to this community, because I'm the final person that says things, it's going to have an impact on me more than it would have an impact on others. Bottom line is the professionalism pillar is there. It's not for me, it's for the community. And I've appreciated it more and more as I've seen it morph into something that even if I was, Joe Blow off the street, it's like, it's an important thing to keep the community healthy. And so it's because of us, it's for personal reasons for me too, but there's certain things we do that we want to keep our atmosphere pristine and friendly for everyone. And there's things that are controversial. They're not necessarily good or bad, but they're controversial. And for those reasons, we are choosing as a community not to be tied to those certain things, right? And it's an evolving thing. We take each thing on kind of a case-by-case basis, and context matters and all that. But ultimately, we want to be a community that everyone feels like they can come and play and not have things put in their face that would make them not want to log into the game, right? Because this entire thing only works if people want to log in and they can have fun logging in. And we want to create an environment that has the maximum amount of fun for the maximum amount of people. So I don't know if anybody had a question about any of that, but just trying to explain a little bit about why professionalism is so important for the community and for me personally. So hopefully you can all be on board with that. And if not, there's plenty of other guilds you can go join, right? But so I do appreciate people being patient in some cases because they don't necessarily agree perfectly with everything we do. But again, it is important and it's something we're going to continue to fight for and to monitor. But with that said, we are in a great place. I'm eager to see all the new people coming in, and hopefully we have the spots to find for everybody. I'm eager to see teams continue to get content clears and whatnot. But that is my update. Belle, what do you have for us? Wait, Belle's not here, I don't think.
I was going to say, Belle's moving.
I don't think she has internet. So who is going to do the update for her? Or there isn't.
I guess I can, but it kind of like all ties together, so we could just skip it for now. We can skip the Horde one too, because I could just cover that later.
Well, whatever. You can just start talking, I guess.
We're all in bed with each other.
Just why don't you just do your community chancellor update now? And you're not next, but we'll just have you go next since it'll be the
let Sin go first because he's rating. So go ahead, Sin.
Is he in?
Hello.
Oh yeah, go Sin.
Well, there's no real giant updates on the heroic side. Everyone's progressing well. The new team, which I'm assuming Zate already announced while I was in the middle of raid, was C team. So welcome Tree if he's still in here.
I am. Thank you.
We all hope to give you your support. Everything's going smooth, as Zate said. I know recruitment is kind of down at the moment. And I know like B team is especially looking for people still. And I know C team is looking to fill their roster up. Just hang in there, guys. I know it's a struggle bus at the moment, but we got this. That's all I really have for me. It wasn't much of an update.
Cool. Anything else you can think of? Sin is basically working with the C team, the new C team. He's working with B team. He's working with all the heroic teams. Might work with some more teams moving forward.
Possibly.
If you have a question about some of those things, make sure you're talking to Sin. He'd know more than I would.
I mean, that's doubtful, but sure. I'm always an open book. People can always come to me. If you mail me a left shark, I'll respond to your answer faster than people who don't mail me left sharks.
What about the pineapple pizza?
Mail you multiple left sharks?
I said thank you in Guild earlier, but you were raiding and didn't see it.
What if we send you pineapple pizza?
That I won't even answer when you send a question.
All right, things are going off the rails quick. Let's back this up. All right, so EST and PST Chancellor updates. We have already talked about the I-team transition. I would really like to sit down and talk with each of the team leads and get an update on where everything's at. I know a few of them are doing fine with roster. I know some of them are struggling. We'll just encourage team leads to talk to each other, to talk with Kaylee, with the mercenaries, make sure you're getting the people in you need to continue pushing on content. As far as I know, we don't have any team on the verge of falling apart, or if they are, they're not talking to me about it. So make sure you're talking to me about it if you feel like your team is in the dire straits, because we do have a lot of things that we can do to make sure you're continuing on and getting the people in that you need. And that's all for the Mythic Chancellor update. I've admittedly not had much time to work on either of those categories. And now it actually is you, Henry.
Okay, yeah, we've got a lot to get through, so bear with me here. I'll try to go fast. Let me just go down my list. So for community coordination, everything's going good. We've got some new runs as always. Usually things are changing pretty fast. For the most up-to-date information, you want to check out the website or the events channel in Discord. We are going to be wrapping up Gul'dan. I feel like I've been saying that forever, but it's finally actually happening. And then the Chosen run is going to be starting this month, and that's going to be led by Zboot, who unfortunately is not here. This is also the last month to do Tomb of Sargeras, so if you want to get in on that, make sure you get in contact with Snow or Yama before the end of this month. We had a successful Endless Kingdom run, but it was one that we had to postpone because of participation, so definitely need some more participation with that. So if that's something you're interested in, get with Mishka or get with Wirio. For sponsorship, we have two really exciting announcements. The first is that this month, both of these things are going to be happening this month. The first is that we're going to be opening up social invites for the Horde side. And then the second, and this is like major to me, is that socials are going to be able to sponsor. The limit on that will be you will have to have been an EK for 2 months. But this is the first time that EK has ever had this, so I think that's really important. So really excited about that. For banking, I already went over the adjustments and who was at what role. There's actually a write-up that Jess did that's in the agenda that has like a bit of detailed information that I would suggest, you read, especially if you've entered some contests and stuff, because there were some winners announced there. Starting on the 10th, the banking team is going to be selling flasks for 150 gold. If you're interested in this, send Jess a DM or a mail in game, and then she'll COD the amount back to you. Just tell her like what type and how much you want. As always, like check the banking channel for like updates. And then tomorrow they're hosting a seed party at 3 p.m. And there's going to be, I think everybody gets 50 prize tickets, right, for every participant. And that's going to be led by Trinium and Kiss. So that's that for banking. For recruitment, there's not really a whole lot to report. Within the next month or two, we are going to have a new application process. Not really a process so much, just kind of make it more streamlined, make it a little bit nicer, but it still needs to be finished and still needs to go through review, etc. So be on the lookout for that. We are also looking for more help for Kaylee, really need an ambassador for that role. If this is something that you're interested in, it's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding. So if that's something you want to talk about, go talk to Kaylee and she would love to hear from you. Let's see. For merges and partnerships, there's nothing to report. As always, if you notice like any guilds falling apart, maybe your friend has a guild that's falling apart or something like that, send them Snow's direction. Maybe they can come, join EK. For social media, Leia and her team are working on a 5-year anniversary book because EK's 5-year anniversary is coming up this year. She's taking name suggestions. Let me post that in general 1 second. All right, I put that with an @ here. So if you have a name, oh, I put the wrong name. If you have a suggestion for the name or you want like more info on it, feel free to get with Leia. Why is this not working? I'm just going to leave it without a link for now. So there's also a contest that's working. It's like a co-contest between social media and Endless Kingdom for a day in the life of a social member. So if you are a social member, definitely enter that contest. There's some really cool prizes that are going to be announced when that contest finishes, and you have until the 9th to post in WoW screenshots with a screenshot of that. And then the final thing for social media is that they're looking for a new YouTube person. If this is something that interests you, something you're good at, get with Leia and she would love to hear from you. My last two things are Endless Kingdom. Obviously, Wirio is trialing as the new RE now. Expect to see a lot more activity for Endless Kingdom. The contest, of course, with social media. And then something I'm really personally excited about, and this ties in with Discord, is that we have now an Endless tag for everybody that's in Endless Kingdom, so we can talk to you specifically. I don't value raiders any more than I do a social member in EK. And I feel like at the same time, a big part of what being an EK is being on a team. So I'm hoping that something like this, having an RE that you can look to, having an endless tag, your own channel, your own voice chat, those types of things will help, I think, give social members that more team environment that I feel like they're missing out on. So that's something I'm really looking to improve on. If you have any suggestions about that, please go talk to Wirio. She would love to hear from you. And then I'll just cover Discord and Patreon really quick because Z is not here. With Discord, we're always looking to improve. Obviously, the new endless tag. If you have any suggestions on channels, how we could do things better, so on and so forth, feel free to talk to Z. And then Patreon is also going really well. It's just really strong. So if you want to give back like in a monetary way to EK, feel free to check out our Patreon. That's a good way for to support the community. It helps us pay for the website. It helps us pay for, t-shirts or any sort of other type of bills that the community has, because this isn't free. But I think that's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Anything else from anyone that needs to say anything from the community stuff, Henry? Or we're good.
What was that?
So you have a lot of stuff going on with people under you. Is there anything else? You're good. Banking, every other category has been covered. Yeah. Cool. All right. Serenity, do you have anything you want to say about website stuff that's going on?
Henry kind of covered it. We're trying to approve the application process right now. It's going to take a little bit of time, but the overall goal is to improve improve what we have now. Right now, doing the form application is kind of clunky, kind of old school. We're trying to make it, streamline, have a form, and just make it easier for, both the applicant and us to handle all these applicants coming in. So look forward to that. And other than that, that's really it for now.
So if there's anyone in here that has a strong passion about applications and the application process, they can talk to you.
I unfortunately am limited in my time and my ability to contribute meaningfully, but what I did want to ask is, will you be, before you make such a system go live, will you be run it by the team leads?
Yes, that's what I mentioned. It's gonna go through a review process first.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
thanks.
We've kind of discussed is like letting it go beta for a while and then like hopefully having it ready to go for BFA. That's kind of
okay. Sorry, I'm unfortunately multitasking while we're meeting here.
Good question. Z-Boot, do you have anything updates about Discord or Patreon?
We just covered that.
He's not here. I said that.
Oh, geez.
So he doesn't listen.
I may have not been paying full attention. All right. So first thing for additional items, quick review of team swaps. This was asked for because there is some confusion. Just want to be very clear. We do allow team swaps. This is kind of like you being able to pick where you raid. And this is important because, again, if the system's not going to work if you don't log in, if you're in a situation that you don't like for whatever reason, right? And there's plenty of team swaps that have happened and people like the new team and it's great and it's not dramatic. The thing, like 90% of the time is dramatic, is because there's lack of communication one way or another. So let me just go over real easy, real clear. If you want a team swap, you have to talk to either your ambassador or your royal emissary and say, I want a team swap, and here's the team I'd like to go to. You don't go to the team lead of the place you want to go because then it looks like poaching, right? You go to your own team lead. It is up to them then to go to the other team lead and arrange the swap for you. If that team lead says, hey, we're not recruiting that person, we won't want to trial them, and you can pick another team. But so the ambassador or the royal emissary, once you tell them, right, you have to like officially tell them, I'm looking to team swap. It's between a 1 and 3 week process that they will try to get you off their team. Generally, that's the time frame you're looking at. And we do that because we want to make sure, especially like if you're a tank or something like that on your current team, there's time to recruit and keep everything stable. And we can't force you to, stay logged in, but if you want to stay in good standing, part of the whole structure here, and if you've noticed, this entire expansion, we haven't had a single team fall apart. If you went into anywhere in WoW and you picked 15 random guilds that had the similar progression that our teams have, my guess is, at least 5 of them would have fallen apart by now. The reason that all the stability that we have here is for little things like this, right? Because when we do have transitions, we allow it, and sometimes it's a little bit awkward, and we understand that, and we take it on a case-by-case basis. But I want to be clear, you don't go around and start, talking to different team leads. You want to join their team, just talk to one of your 2 main leaders on your team, let them know that you want to do it, and they have 1 to 3 weeks to transfer you off. The other thing that's important to understand is that we only do this once per month, or twice. It's like if 2 people want to go at once, that's fine, but then there's a 2-month timer that starts. So we're not going to gut any team. We've had it before where something was going on in a team that wasn't great, and all of a sudden there's 5 or 6 people that wanted to move off a team, and then that was obviously destabilizing. So if there are 5 or 6 people that want to move off a team, upper leadership might get involved and start talking about like, hey, what's going on here? Why is this the case? And every once in a while we do, like if there's a big transition or a change in identity of the team or whatever, we'll do open transfers so as many people want to leave as they want, but that's situational, right? So just want to be clear, you do get to transfer. A team lead can't tell you no. Now, if you're
a team lead, meaning your team lead.
Your team lead can't tell
The
you
team
no, right?
team you want to go to can, of course, say, I'm sorry,
Actually,
I can't use you, or I'm sorry, you don't meet our requirements.
Hanti has dealt with this more than anyone. She's been around longer and dealt with more of it. Is there anything you want to kind of add in terms of good ideas or things just in terms of the topic is reviewing of team swaps, right? Or reviewing team swap policies. Do you have anything you want to add that I'm not hitting on very well?
I strongly encourage people to, at some point, periodically have a conversation with your team about what to do, about just point them to the team swap policy. Just say, we know that sometimes people want to change teams for whatever reason. Here's what you should do. The first person you should do is talk to me. And you want to be sure that as a team lead, you are never enacting any kind of retribution for someone wanting to swap teams, because everybody else on your team is going to see that. And then they're not going to want to talk to you when they want to change teams. And it just breaks down the trust. So I know for myself, I've been on both sides of the coin. It used to be in this particular guild, that the team lead who was losing the raiders was the last to know, which was awful. I know you all know what it's like to keep a roster going. So anyway, open communication with your team fosters trust. They'll come to you and let you know they want to make a change, and you can go from there. And always approach it openly and without any sort of prejudice. If people want to change teams, then they should be able to change teams.
Thank you, Auntie. And she can attest that the process has changed and improved, because it used to be like as many people could swap and you didn't have to talk to, like, it was just messy. It was always the most dramatic part of it.
Oh, a team wants to take 4 of my raiders? Okay. 3 of those raiders quit that team after joining that team, and now they're gone from the guild. Okay. So yeah, it wasn't fun. So I've been on both sides of it. I mean, I know some folks don't realize that Cell Swords was once called Night Team's Rejects behind our backs. So we've been, I started out with a team that was the least progressed in the guild. So I've been on both sides of it. So that's all. And if anyone has any questions about how the process works or needs advice on what to do when someone comes to you, let me know. And if any raider from another team comes to you and says, I want to join your team, give them a standard spiel. You should go talk to your team lead. So anyway, I'll stop. Otherwise, I'll be the queen of Babylon.
Thanks, Auntie. So here's the biggest thing with a team swap. Just talk about it with the right person in the right order, and things go smoothly 90% of the time. I mean, there are people that have a little bit of hard feelings, and it is a little bit frustrating and a little bit awkward sometimes, but it's not fun to say what you have to say sometimes. But if you don't get it out there, then that's when the drama starts and things blow up and everything else. So just talk to your team leads if you want to swap, and we'll get the process moving. But you're not guaranteed a spot on the team or anything like that. Like, there's no guarantees. We just guarantee that there's mobility, and we'll work on it on a case-by-case basis. And that's the team swap thing is true for everyone coming into, like, any guild transfers, anyone that's joining singly, if they want to app to another team eventually, that's fine. A lot of times people will come in thinking they're going to transfer to another team and they love the team they're on, and vice versa, right? So it's just flexibility that we have for the community. All right. Reminder of Leadership Resources channel. Henry.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind leadership and EK that we do have a leadership resources channel that are grouped up with the rest of the like officer chats. Definitely use that to your full advantage. If there's like, links that you feel should be there, or maybe like you're looking for a specific type of information that you feel should be there that doesn't exist yet, feel free to send me or Z a message, and we will do our best to make that possible for you. That being said, the welcome channel is also an excellent resource for everybody in Eternal Kingdom. It's got basically any link that you could ever be looking for listed there. And again, like if you have any suggestions about that, you can get with any mod or admin. Well, within reason, I guess. Like Hanti's not going to go update it, right? But like Mizi and Sari will.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Wait, what am I not going to update? What am I not updating?
You're not updating the welcome channel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
We're giving you a new job.
No, thanks. Thanks for thinking of me. I'm honored.
Do, number 4 here before number 3. I'm announcing that I'm starting a new team trading. What was it, Siri? 9 hours a day on Tuesdays. Something. Yeah.
3 p.m. to midnight on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
3 p.m. to midnight.
Real?
Team Pineapple Pizza.
Oh yeah, no. So if you didn't notice, there is some modifications to the website.
Swaps.
So you want to swap teams and join my team.
He's recruiting for himself.
Yeah. No, we had some fun on the 1st. If you didn't notice the website and some of the announcements, they were, if you're not from here and don't understand April Fools, it was all a joke, but it was a good joke, and hopefully we all had a little bit of a laugh. I can't remember. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. We made the joke that we were going to transfer to Horde, and that was interesting because some people thought we were serious. We didn't transfer, but there were some opinions that were expressed. It was
I'm glad to hear it was a joke, because honestly, I wasn't sure who I should talk to tell them I wanted to team swap.
Oh no, Zay's leading the team.
Yeah, we'll talk about this mythic team that no one's on and I don't actually run, but we can. Anytime you're having a problem with Raiders, tell them to team swap to Team Pineapple, and I'll have a chat with them. All right, so the real announcement is we are getting a new raid team. It's going to be Centurion. Treejuvenate is working on, right now it's just Heroic, and the anticipation is that this team will move into Mythic, and he's hoping to get the group going and actually maybe even get Cutting Edge, although that's going to be quite the challenge with the August 14th deadline coming up here, and I don't know if they'll take Cutting Edge away before that. But what we talked about is, and he's known someone, comes highly recommended in terms of our values, our culture, and everything. He's fully on board. We had the whole meeting, and some other people were there. But for now, it's just a Heroic team. He's kind of kicking the tires and seeing what's going on. And so far, things are going well. He's clearing Heroic once a week very quickly. And we're looking forward to when he hits, a good roster of, 23, 24, 25, right in that area, he will venture into Mythic. But I will let him do explaining from here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Treejuvenate. I have been playing WoW pretty much since the beginning, always as a healer, Druid Masterclass since Wrath, Druid Represent. Actually, originally followed my EverQuest guild to World of Warcraft way back in 2004. I don't know how many people we have in here that played EverQuest back in the day. Yep. So that gives you an idea about how long I've been around. Pretty much played the game constantly at a high level in pretty much every single raid tier, with the exception of Firelands and Dragon Soul. Didn't really play an extensive amount in Kata, but those of you who played, since vanilla, I did raid like original Naxxramas, had some like US top 100, US top 50 kills in BC and early Cataclysm. But yeah, I got turned on to this idea by someone that I've known in EK for a long time, and is a very good friend of mine. And he always spoke very highly of Eternal Kingdom, pretty much as long as I've known him. And so when I was first looking at kind of striking out on my own with some of the people that I have that have sort of followed me into this venture, he suggested, he's like, well, maybe you should think about it, see if there's any team in EK would be a good fit for you guys. I'm on Eastern time, so obviously most of EK is in Pacific time. and he kind of arranged like a sort of a meeting of the minds, if you will. And I got to know Zate and a lot of the other top level people in EK very quickly. And it's been even better than expected, honestly. I have to say that everyone's been really welcoming, and I'd personally like to give thanks, especially to Zate, Sin, Inri, Kaylee, Dernan, Serenity, and Z-Boot, all for helping me get Centurion off the ground and answering, I'm sure, tons and tons of questions that I've had getting acclimated here, promoting people in Discord, kind of showing me the ropes of how EK runs and everything. But so far, I'm really, really happy to be here. I know everyone that I've brought on to Centurion has really enjoyed the guild so far and is really looking forward to getting to know everyone in EK.
Thanks for the introduction. And we've been really impressed with Rejuvenate. He's already got quite a bit of structure set up with his leadership, and we'll kind of announce that. And once they go full on Mythic, he'll have another announcement hopefully next May, kind of detailing a little bit more. But we're holding off on some of that just to see and watch things develop. But we are looking for good opportunities in the community, and a lot of times when we talk about a new raid team, people are like, and to be honest, we looked like 3 guild mergers potentially happening, and we didn't have anywhere to put them, and some of those guild mergers fell through. But when we talk about a new team, it's kind of like, if your parents come to you and they say, hey, you're gonna have a new brother, a new sister, right? Your response is always like, no, I don't want to share my toys, kind of thing, right? There's a lot of that that happens when we announce a new team. But when you get your brother or sister, it's awesome because they're awesome and they're part of your family, and they make your family better and stronger. And generally speaking, right, I'm sure we all have family tiffs from now and then, but so I just want to say thanks for having a value system and a desire to be in our community, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do, and we'll be cheering you on as you get rolling into Mythic and trying to clear ahead. And while some people might feel the roster pinch right now, I can assure you he is not pulling from your roster. The people, you can go look at his heroic roster. He knows these people he's bringing in. If there's people he's taking, he's being very diplomatic about it. And he's certainly going to, everyone's going to certainly have their fill by the time you get to BFA. Because like I said, we're looking at, typically speaking, about a 30% growth, which, again, math is about 300 people that will join our community, or apt to our community at least, between now and BFA. So just want to encourage you, if you see him around, chat him up. He's in the leadership chat, and he'll be around in terms of talking on apps and all that. So don't be afraid to say hi and get to know him.
Yeah, I don't bite, I promise.
Not hard anyway.
Right.
You're a druid, you guys.
Teeth marks, but no blood. Teeth marks, but no blood.
Trees don't bite.
Yeah, I'll just bark at you a little bit.
All right.
Oh
So
my god.
That is the conclusion of the meeting, unless anyone else has something to add.
We have enough bad puns in this guild. We don't need more.
Yeah, we have Candaria.
Did somebody say bad puns?